Hello, I'm Jeffiany. Who's Jeffiany? Jeffiany is Squiddy's alter ego. Recently I've been diagnosed with ADHD, and you know what that means. A less chaotic and more focused version. She is more adult and slightly better at things, maybe. Anyways, in this video, I will show you how to make these amethyst coasters. I did do an oopsie, and you will see that oopsie and you will think, oh no, she has ruined all the coasters. What has she done? She is all over the place. She is without direction from pharmaceuticals. But then I came up with a solution. So that same twisted, messed up brain that was just managed to come up with a brilliant solution to her issue. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get into it.
So I got this resin sent from the Epoxy Store, and they sent it over to me to try out. Overall, I was really impressed with it. It's about $30 for a 40-ounce kit, which is unheard of, and if you use my 20% off coupon, that takes off a whopping $6. That is unheard of for resin. Just enter code SQUIDLICS at checkout. I am affiliated, but I do recommend this product. And here we see that I have some amethyst stone pieces that I would like to incorporate into the center of this piece. And this mica powder is called Violet. I just used a little bit and it was really dark, so I wanted to lighten it up with some white. For the white, I used Alumilite, and I love this stuff. It's great. I've had it for years and it's still working really well. So apparently I did not film the demise of this piece. The demise was these little specks of white alcohol ink that I thought would add a really cool, dirty, milky, cloudy texture to the piece. It did not turn out that way. Here you can see me adding the resin to the molds, and I'm trying to kind of pick up that alcohol ink on the bottom. It started drying really fast, so I had to move it around a little bit. And here I'm just adding some of that mica mixture and pouring off some more resin and adding some purple colorant, just another layer of color. And I used some white and put that in the middle. Time for the shimmer. I am using my metallic gold flakes, and I link all these things that I use in my Amazon shop. I love the way that these turn out. They have different colors of bronze and gold, and they're really pretty to add into any piece. Next, I am adding some earth tones, just a little bit of like a coffee color with some ink not completely mixed in to add this sort of fractured appearance. Next, I'm adding a clear pour. Stop freaking out, camera. Stop it. I'm adding a layer of clear purple, and then I was like, this white is a little too intense for me. I don't want to repeat what happened last time, my last geode pour, so I decided to try and dilute it with a bit of alcohol, and then I was like, screw this, I'm going in. I just used like my resin stir to like touch the top of the resin and pick up a lot of that white that was sitting on top. I used whatever I collected, mixed it together, and then poured it back in as a light purple. I wanted to add more kind of lines to the stone to make it look cool, and it did look cool at first, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna mess it up. So I just started like texturing it with a stir, and I didn't really like that how it looked. So eventually I just pulled out my heat gun and went to town.
Alright, it is the next day and it's time to demold this beauty. No! I mean, it looks kind of cool, but that
is quite the stark contrast. Let's see what it all looks like together. But the next time I do this, I will not use the white alcohol ink right off the bat. I had a feeling that would be the downfall of this piece, but we still have some learning to do. This was a good lesson to learn. Looks cool, but not the effect I wanted for this particular piece. Ooh. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks cool, or should I try making another one? I think I'm gonna make another one because I did learn a lot with this piece. As for the resin, it's super clear, only a few micro bubbles, and a tiny bit of bubbles right where I'd put the stones in. But other than that, happy with the resin. So last night I was in bed thinking about these pieces, and it occurred to me that I could just sand down this white part off, since it is on the very bottom of this piece. And I actually tried it out and it worked, and it actually ended up being more like the effect that I was looking for. And I'm using a wet sanding method. Now, if you know me, you know I hate sanding, but to save this piece that I put so much effort into and so much resin would be amazing. As you can see, it's already working, and it will leave your piece kind of roughed up, but that's what doming is for. It's basically just adding another layer of resin on top and it'll look as good as new. And I'm going to go ahead and just rough it up all over the surface, so when I dome the piece, the resin will have something to stick to. I think that is way more realistic looking than this one. So after all that sanding, the pieces did end up looking kind of foggy and textured. And it did look actually like more like stone, like a realistic stone texture, but I decided to give it the top coat anyway, and it came back to its original luster. I'm using a silicone brush type thing and making sure that none of my resin spilled over the edges and bringing it right up to the edge of the pieces. For the fun part, I'm using a gold marker to finish my edges. Usually I like to rough up the edges a little bit. I did sand them down and give them a little bit of texture, and I usually don't like to have like a pure straight line going all around my pieces, but you know what, I think I like it on this one, and they came out really pretty. I like that the gold inside the piece and outside the piece, it works really well together. Here's a good look at the finished piece. Overall, I'm glad that I could salvage it. I think that with anything in life, you can always just sleep on it, and hopefully the next day you will have a better idea of how to attack your problems. And I think that goes in the craft world as well. Thank you so much, Jeffiany, for hosting this video. I now will take it away for a minute. You are a creative human being, and you can get through anything you put your mind to. You're amazing. Thank you.